Okay, I'm going to begin this live with a collective reading. And this is a collective reading for the overall energies surrounding the masculine and the feminine. And here we have the masculine. And it just was wanting to be known. So this reading is for a particular group of masculine and feminines. This is a reading for this group has been on the journey for quite some time now, and they've gone through many cycles and they've underwent many lessons and experienced many trials and tribulations. So this reading is specific for that group of masculine and feminines. What are the overall energies surrounding the divine masculine and feminine? So here on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles represents someone who's motherly, nurturing, kind, warm, welcoming. So what does the message? What is the message? So here we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is slow and steady movement. This is somebody wanting to offer a commitment. Look at this. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Something solid. And the reason why this is happening is because the divine feminine did their healing. They began to focus on themselves and their personal growth and development, their vision. They went within. So that's why this change is happening. That's why the masculine is wanting to make an offering. This is about receptivity, trusting, believing. Okay, so we don't want to wait in longing. We don't want to wait in sadness. That, you know, you don't want to be thinking that it hasn't happened, and because it hasn't happened, it's not going to happen. You don't want to be waiting and feeling sad because you're impatient and you're missing them. What you want to be doing is you want to be focused on your life's purpose. You want to make sure that you're staying busy and focused. This is the reason why there's been a shift, because the feminine redirected their energy. They began to focus on themselves as opposed to being caught up in the masculine's experience. And here, so they began to establish boundaries, but boundaries with themselves. You know, it's like, what would those boundaries be? So if you're setting a boundary with yourself, because I think most often people refer to boundaries with the other person, but before you can set the boundary with the other person, you have to set the boundary with yourself. You're setting the parameter. So the boundary is that I am choosing to set the boundary with myself, that I will no longer contact them. I will no longer spy on them. I will no longer feel worthless. All of these things come together, and that's what creates this establishment. That's what creates the foundation, the boundary. But for us to have this understanding, this awareness, then we need to make a decision, right? So if we're staying caught in this depression and and I'm lonely and I miss them and life just isn't fulfilling, life is boring, and well, if you're in that mindset, then you're not focused on your purpose. You're just distracted. And the purpose takes precedent. The purpose comes first. The reason why the purpose comes first is because the purpose plays a pivotal role in the collective shift. And that's what relationships are all about. It's about collectively coming together and relating to one another. You know, the relationships that we have with the interpersonal relationships that we experience through all of our lessons. The lessons are to teach us about ourselves and to strengthen us so that we can become who we already are. And who we already are is, well, who are you? Who are you? Because so often, we're caught up in this story about who the other person is and what the other person is doing and how the other person is feeling. As opposed to as opposed to focusing on you. It's too tiring. It's too draining to be constantly focused on the other person. There's not enough headspace to be focusing on the other person. Right? And so then that's what happens, because the other person currently isn't in their reality. And so all they're doing is daydreaming. All they're doing is thinking. And the thoughts that they're thinking are based on the previous interactions. And then it's like, it's not just that, but then it's like thinking about the current circumstance, the lacking of satisfaction and wanting to be somewhere other than where you are right here in this moment. So it just causes confusion. It causes chaos and all right. Okay, so the feminine has set those boundaries. This is a result of them going within and reflecting on everything that's happened, but shifting their focus to themselves, making themselves the number one priority, and, stop. They're no longer letting their energy be drained. So now they're looking towards the future, but they're grounded and here. Whereas before they were disassociated, because they didn't want to be where they were in the present moment. But now it's the opposite. Now they're grounded and comfortable in the present moment and grateful that they're able to take that energy and project it out there so that the creative process, the manifestation process can begin. Because the manifestation happens right here in the present moment. You get what you want because you believe you already have it. So you believe that you're already in the relationship. You believe that it's already done because it is. You're already in a relationship. You're in a relationship with yourself. You know, you're mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually connected and grounded and balanced. And by getting into this state of being, you become naturally, or you naturally draw in energy that's in resonance with the energy you're emitting. So when you get into this state of being, you're naturally drawing in the energy that you're emitting, the state that you're currently experiencing. And you're experiencing that state through conscious integration, like you're consciously integrating that, a new belief, the new belief, right? And it's just the willingness and the dedication to continue forward with this process. This is how you learn the lesson, because then you're in the state of love, because you're actually comfortable. You're actually comfortable with the current moment. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the relationship that's built on a faulty foundation. So most relationships are built on faulty foundations. The reason why I say this is because we're in a program, and the program was created from a faulty. It's faulty. It's faulty. It wasn't originally, right? We're pure divine beings. We're love. But we're experiencing duality. So we're experiencing contrast. And the contrast is what creates the challenge. So then it's our response to the challenge. Okay, so then basically here we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords talks about being very clear and direct, logical, concise. They're very intelligent. And so basically this is using a combination between your intellect, your emotions, and your physical experience. So combining these energies so that we can be open to receive. Because when we're mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually balanced, then we're in alignment. And alignment, when you're in alignment and you're grounded and balanced and centered and connected, then you're in your truest nature. You're connected to source. And then by you being connected to source and you're in your true nature and you're authentic and you're emanating love energy, and you're grounded and you're established and you have confidence and you know your worth and you feel comfortable being admired and you're cherished and people are just naturally drawn to you because you have so much to give, and you're emanating this beautiful, vibrant, vibrancy. that's when you receive a love offering. That's when somebody comes in and is like, wow, I've never met anyone like you before. You know, like, you're very uplifting, you're inspiring. And it's like, yeah, thank you. I know I am. You actually know that you actually know that you're that person. You're not trying to convince them. You're not playing games. You're not, you know, insecure and needy. You're like, thanks. Yeah, I am. And you're not like, you know, and a lot of times people, they'll say, oh yeah, like, I know I'm awesome. I know I'm so great. And like, they would be so happy to be with me. But then it's like, if you felt that way, you wouldn't be interested in what's happening with them in with their personal life. It wouldn't even cross your mind. You would just genuinely be comfortable and content and happy and satisfied and relaxed, and you wouldn't give a shit. So my suggestion is, you know, if maybe look at addressing that. Because it's not always about the other person. And most often people make it about the other person. So yeah, so then basically you become a magnet, you become attractive, and then you just draw love in. And then you receive happiness. You experience joy and bliss. You're connected to your intuition, and you're like very loving and nurturing and welcoming and kind and caring and intuitive and intellectual and intelligent. And then you're like, you meet your perfect match, and they're all those things, and you guys just like, you guys work together and you build a future. So yeah, so the feminine who has been doing the work, they've been doing the work, both the masculine and the feminine, specific for this reading. The feminine, or the masculine and feminine that will be entering into union, or the feminine will be receiving communication. This is for a specific group of people. And this group of people will have the opportunity to enter into a permanent, long-lasting, happy, harmonious relationship only if they become the embodiment of love. They become the balanced feminine. They become the balanced masculine. Because masculine and feminine resides within everyone. So if you're wanting a masculine who embodies the masculine energy, those energies being someone who's the provider, the protector, leader, ambitious, disciplined, dedicated, trustworthy, hardworking, generous, reliable, respectful, all of those qualities, those characteristics, then you need to be those qualities and characteristics too, right? It's about you. It's about what you're channeling. What are you expressing? So you say, oh, I want to be in a relationship with someone who is all of these qualities. But then at the same time, you're actually not embodying those qualities. So this is about balancing your masculine and your feminine within. So you become both the masculine and the feminine, and you draw them in. So what are the feminine qualities? The feminine is loving and nurturing, peaceful, compassionate, creative, intuitive, devoted, kind, caring, understanding, And most importantly, they're trusting. This is about trust. Trusting your intuition. People are constantly talking about trusting the other person. They're like, well, if I can't trust you, if I can't trust you. Once again, it's not about trusting them. Yes, you're going to trust them, but the trust that you have for them is an extension. It's you, trusting your intuition, and by doing this, you can trust them. So you want people are wanting other people to prove their trust. They don't need to prove their trust. You're going to assume that the energy that you're emitting is already a trusting energy, that you're only going to be attracting trustworthy energy that's trustworthy. And you're going to know because you're going to be trusting your intuition. So if your intuition says red flag, you're going to be like, I'm trusting my intuition. I'm in alignment. I feel good. And something's not right with this person, and I'm going to trust. Whereas in the past, when you're unbalanced and you're needy and you're insecure, you're willing to let things slide. You're like, oh yeah, like, we'll just give them the benefit of the doubt and ignore the red flags and let's see where this goes along. It's like you want entertainment because you're lonely. So you're just like, we'll just engage in this just to see where it takes us and, maybe. But then at the same time, it's like red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. And then slowly but surely, you just accumulate the story. Slowly but surely, you start to carry the weight. You start to think. You start to wait. You start to, put this person up on a pedestal. Try to, get them to submit to you. Get them to commit. Try to manifest them. But then all you're doing is just creating conflict. Internal conflict. All you're doing is creating imbalance. Because you're already one. You're already both the masculine and feminine. You're drawing them in. Those are my beliefs. That's my belief, and everyone's, you can agree or disagree, but that's my belief. And we're always free to adjust, right? Everything's not always set in stone. Sometimes, we have lessons that give new perspectives. And, we're free to change our opinion at any given moment in time. So we're free to do anything at any given moment in time. Like, we create a reality. So I'm going to leave the reading at that. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate all of you.